Let's first start with the bioidentical hormones. Is your practice mainly men or women or both, or evenly split?
Sure. Well, my practice, as you say, Suzanne, is in Orlando, and it is both men and women, although what is pretty typical in a practice like this, it tends to float more towards the women than the men. And I see maybe about 60–70% women, maybe 70–75% women, and then the remainder are men.
I wonder why it is that women will come first.
Well, there's actually a couple of reasons, and I've given a lot of thought to this, okay? The first one really is that the women have the dramatic changes that they experience in menopause. And they go through these changes in their late 40s or in their early 50s, and it can be really life-altering, you know, between the hot flashes and the night sweats and the can't think straight and the sexual dysfunction and all of those things. It's really devastating, and it can be rather dramatic and sudden, kind of like what happened with my wife, which was really remarkable. And then what ends up happening is they go around and they start asking their doctors and their friends, and nobody knows what to do. So they start going out there and looking on the internet or reading your books, and they find out that there might be something to do, and then they'll find somebody like me on the internet or by word of mouth and end up here. So their dramatic onset of menopause is usually a little bit more of a fast driver than the guys. The guys, on the other hand, they tend to dwindle down over years. Their hormone decline is a little bit slower. The changes are less dramatic. They happen, you know, over more of an extended period of time, and they just don't feel right. And so what often happens to them is they just go, I don't know, I'm losing a step, I'm just getting old, and they don't really get that dramatic move. And of course, we all know that guys don't go to the doctor anyway. They're most often dragged there by their wives. The other thing that happens is many times they will go to the doctor and they say, hey, doc, you know, I just don't feel well. I think I got low T. I've read all of the stuff, and I think that's what I've got. And their doctors will get a testosterone level, and they'll go, oh, well, you're not low testosterone. You know, you're 400. Well, if you look at that range, that normal range of 250 to say 1100, 400 is certainly in the normal range. But those of us that are in this field and practice hormone management as a specialty know that it's not just the number. You're dealing with a person on the other side of that lab sheet. And when they have the symptoms of hormonal decline, that's far more important to me. And I know that a level of 400 is going to be associated with symptoms, and it's going to be all associated with altered lifestyle, life-altering medical changes. And so they get the impression that they're normal when they're really not. So that prevents the guys from coming in probably as frequently as they might otherwise come into the office.
Well, let's establish this. When a guy's young and in his full prime and got all his juice going, what are his levels at that age?
Well, you'll see guys, and I like to tell my guys, I say, you know where I want you? I want you at a 25-year-old Olympic gold medalist hormone level, okay? And if you measure those guys, you'd find that their normals are going to be 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, sometimes even higher, because they're usually eating very good. Nowadays, with the nutritional knowledge that we have, these young guys that are high-quality athletes, they're eating clean, and so their receptors are working well, their manufacturing capabilities are working well, and so their hormone levels are going to be high. So they're going to be up around 1,100 or 1,200 many times.